I guess I went live a minute early, so I'm gonna hang out for 1 minute until the official time here, and then get started. This might be awkward on the VOD though. um, as people trickle in, already 8 viewers. Please feel free to comment. I'm gonna see that for a little bit during the presentation. I won't see it, but I'll come back to it at the end. And I guess I'll give an official start here. There's already some people watching, and it is a video on demand. Um, so hi there. This is Jason Coleman. Thank you for watching this video. Thank you to those of you who are participating live. Black Friday is 6 weeks or so away, but it's not too early to get started with the planning and even some of the execution around running a sale Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. The more that you can get done early, the easier things are going to be. The easier things are going to go the week of Black Friday and Cyber Monday. And what we really want is to have a stress-free week. So thanks again. And I'm going to dive into it a bit here. During the presentation, I won't be able to see your comments. I really appreciate everyone who's here, but please ask questions. There will be time in about 20, 30 minutes when I'll take a look at those and answer those for you. But if I don't see what you're saying, I apologize. I'll get to it. So here's a high level outline of what we're going to get into in the presentation. We're going to talk about the Black Friday opportunity, like how much money can you make? We're going to talk about the offer. What kind of discount do you want to give? How can you build your offer? I'll give some tips and information based on our experience around sale length, how many days to run the sale, things you can do around that. We'll talk a bit about social proof, which is really important in general and specifically when you're running a Black Friday sale. I'll give you a few of our email and social media tips and some info on that. I'll talk a little bit about having a landing page for your offer. And I'll give you some tips around pushing live so that when it's go time in that week in November, it's going to go as easily as possible for you. Minimal issues. I did want to mention here, and I'll mention it a few times, that we have an ebook that we're launching that goes into more detail into the things that I'm talking about here. And it goes step by step, like week by week, the things you should be doing each week to prepare. So after the video, download that ebook. It's at sitewidesales.com/ebook. And that should be your guide for the next 6 weeks that you refer to. I really don't want you like watching this video over the next 6 weeks and kind of like pausing every 5 minutes and using this as a checklist. That's what the ebook is for. If I can have your attention now for the video, just watch this straight through from start to finish. Give me your questions. And I'm going to go at a high level. You might not understand everything right away, but just absorb it, take a few quick notes, and just know that all this information is in the ebook in an even better format for you to look through. And we have demos and things on the site. So check out the ebook after the video. And then also I'm going to pitch here, like we have a plugin, Sitewide Sales, that we've built over the 4 years of running Black Friday sales. It works for WordPress, specifically WooCommerce, EDD, and Paid Memberships Pro. And it's pretty great. And I'm going to have a special offer for those of you who stay tuned to the end of the video, an unprecedented deal. We don't do deals like this, but at the end of the video, we'll give you a link that you can use if you're interested in that software to learn more and get a deal on that. But for now, I'm going to talk about those things I said I would, right? So what's the opportunity? Here's some stats. Consumers spent $9 billion shopping online the day after Thanksgiving in 2020. That's up 21.6% from 2019. Another stat I heard was that last year was the first year where Cyber Monday, there was more sales on Cyber Monday than Black Friday for the first time ever. And I may be getting that wrong, or these stats come from different places. They consider different things, e-commerce or not. So it's hard to like, what does that mean? Just there's a lot of money, right? So people are spending money on that weekend, and like, how much of that can you get, right? We want you to get a slice of that. Kind of more, personal to my experience. Sites that we've been, customers of ours and also friends of mine who run e-commerce websites have told me they make somewhere between 25 and 75% of their typical November sales in just one Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. So again, that's on top of the regular revenue in November. So you're you're making an additional 25 to 75% revenue in November. And that's in line with what we've seen personally over the past 4 years. We've made a combined extra $80,000 just on the sales that we run in the month of November each year. And so that's a lot of money. Like if you're in a business where you have a product that can be gifted, basically, November and December are really busy for you anyway. And it could be even more busy. You could do even better on Black Friday, Cyber Monday weekend. If you're in a business like ours that's B2B or just generally slower in November and December, almost doubling your sales in November really helps with the slow sales in December, and kind of gets you to have revenue throughout the rest of the year. And then further, I have a link here. We'll update the description to have this as well. It's pinned to my Twitter, Jason_Coleman. But I go into like the story of like how I changed my mind personally. We used to not want to run sales because I was worried about, hurting the brand image. I was worried about customers perceiving our product as less valuable because we were discounting it. I was worried about all the craziness of Black Friday and not wanting to participate. But basically it was FOMO. Like friends of mine were making money and they were like, "Oh, you're not doing this? You should be doing it. It's easy." And I was like, "Oh," so we experimented. It went well. We've been doing it for 4 years. And also we've been like pulling all the best practices together and actually building software to help other people do this. Like I really like if you have a business that's already generating revenue, why not get a little bit of extra money every November, and throughout other times throughout the year as well. So you can read that thread. It goes more into, so if you're on the fence, like, should I even run a Black Friday sale? Maybe read that and it might help you make up your mind. If you're ready to to participate in Black Friday as an e-commerce shop this year, let's figure out the next step. First up, like you want to figure out, what is my offer going to be? Basically, like what discount am I going to give? Like the most typical form of Black Friday deal is a discount. And then here's some data from Sendow, and they harvested emails through their service and took note of how many offers were within a certain range of like percent discounts. And so each line here is, this is showing that there's more people offering 20 to 24% discount. There's a spike at 50% off. Those are the kinds of offers that people are running on Black Friday. And you want to run an offer that's going to stand out. Like you want an offer that is going to show up quite literally. Your site might show up next to another site in a Black Friday roundup, and you want your deal to look better than the other site's deal. So people are often running like the best sale of the year on this day. So you have to run a pretty high sale to compete. And you want your deal to stand out. So, shoot for these 20, 33, and 50% discount ranges. That's what kind of, people have narrowed in on. And so if your discount is kind of, you're thinking 25%, like bump that up to 33 or down to 20. If you're almost 50%, it might as well be 50%. And there's kind of diminishing returns on offering more than 50%, it seems. That's just based on that one stat. But you want other ways to kind of make your deal, it should be the best of the year if possible. It should stand out. And then the second most important thing is like, it should, make a profit. It's the second most important thing when you're running a Black Friday sale, but it's the first important thing in business, right? Like first world business, make a profit. So if you can't run a 50% discount on your product, and that's not possible with, so it depends on, what kind of site you have, what product you sell. Some products can't build in a margin to absorb a 50% discount. If you can potentially, if you can't do a 50% sale, you should think about raising your prices if possible. So do a smaller sale this year, think about raising prices next year. You can even say in your Black Friday deal, this is the last time, this will be on sale at this price. We're raising our prices next year. That's a really good way to kind of generate the FOMO for people so that they, click through and purchase your product. But if you can't, do a discount, that's understood. People like in different industries, the discounts might be smaller. If you Google, you can find some lists of that, like what's a typical Black Friday discount for industry X, things like that. Just do as good as you can so you compete with the competition. Now, there are some cases where maybe you're not going to turn a profit on your sale. Some businesses will, they're using this as a loss leader. They're hoping that recurring revenue, next month, next year, when people renew, that's when I'm going to make the money back, or perhaps this is an investment to gain market share this time around, which is perfectly fine. That's something that sites will do, and it's a good thing to do sometimes. What I want to ask you, if you're going to think about doing that, is just be conscious of the investment you're making. Don't offer 50% off and know that you're losing money on every sale without doing the math to figure out how much money that is, because you don't want to wake up, you don't want to be in that situation where like, this is great, I'm selling everything, and like, but I'm losing money. So if you figure out the math ahead of time, you can know exactly how much you're risking, how much you're investing on this sale, and you can compare that against other ways you could spend your money. If there's 100 sales, you're losing $100 per sale. That's $10,000 you're investing into Black Friday. Is that worth it? You can figure out. Another thing you can do, you'll see me do that, and my offer at the end of this video is you can limit, how many people can take advantage of the best sale. So kind of like a doorbuster online, like, hey, the first 100 sales get this great discount. Everything after that will not be discounted or get a slightly less discount. If you do that, you're going to minimize your downside. You're going to know upfront how much that you're spending on, if you're using Black Friday as a promotional tool rather than a money-making tool. And then real quick, like, it's not all about the discount. It kind of should be like you got to stand out. Everyone else is running a discount. You kind of have to be too. But there are other creative ways to juice up that offer. If you can't just give a flat price discount, you can offer extra services on top of your products. You can bundle up things to make them stand out. And, in the ebook, we go into some of those, and on our website, we have some of that information as well, if that's the boat that you're in. I'm going to move ahead. Here's some tips and information on sale length that we found. So I think at this point, like, you really need to commit to like at least a 4-day sale. In my opinion, you should go Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. At least you can't kind of run your sale just on Black Friday, just on Cyber Monday, or just on Giving Tuesday. There's just too much noise. There's too much going on. You're really going to miss out if your sale is a blip for one day when people are running their sale in October or into December. I'm not a fan of that. I kind of limit it to that week. There can be cases if you get creative, but like, especially if this is your first time, limit it to, that week, at least the 4 days, Black Friday through Monday, Cyber Monday. The other tip I say about length is you want to end on a weekday, because the last day of your sale is usually the biggest day of your sales. Like, if you start running sales like this, you'll notice like the first day there's a blip, and then it's above average sales, but not so good. And then the last day, like, everyone last minute is shopping. So you want to make sure your last day ends on a weekday, because folks aren't at their email. They're not at their computer as much on the weekend. A weekday, you're just going to have more conversions. And then the other tip I have is to create a buffer for your discount codes. So if your sale officially is running Friday through Monday, make sure that your discount code works Thursday through Tuesday. Add at least a day on either side when you're setting up your coupon or discount codes in your system. And one of the things this helps with is time zone issues. If you're falling asleep on Thursday in New York City, someone is waking up on Friday in Australia and they think it's Friday and they're going to try to buy your product at a discount, and it's not going to work for them. Or at the end of you have a similar time zone issue at the end of the sale. So adding an extra day kind of just like nullifies all the time zone issues you're going to have. And then also, like, besides folks who are living in the future in Australia, like, you also have people who are just procrastinating and waiting until the last minute to take advantage of your sale. If your sale is priced in a way that you're going to make money, like, you want people to use the sale, like, let those stragglers use it without having to submit a support request to ask you. Give them at least a day. I think we let our code run almost to the end of the week, so that if they use the code late, it's still going to work for them. A lot of people are kind of shopping. You might notice this yourself. They're waiting throughout the weekend. They might be like buying a couch on Sunday and not have enough money for like your e-learning course. and if they don't buy the couch, then they do. There's, you never know what's happening with folks and how busy they are. So giving them some extra time after the sale is pretty good. Another topic I want to talk about is social proof. So this is important in general with selling things online, but it's in particular important with Black Friday, Cyber Monday. And what social proof is basically testimonials or reviews that you put on your website and your landing page and in your emails and social media campaigns to help your customers feel more comfortable buying your product. If this woman likes this product, like I'm going to be more likely to like that product. And I'm talking about it now because like you want to start gathering it early. You don't want to be emailing people the week of Thanksgiving asking them to write a testimonial for you. We're 6 weeks out. Now's the time to reach out to people and ask them for a testimonial. Reach out to your best customers, reach out to people that really like your product. And then, like, another thing you should know about testimonials is you want ones that reinforce your positioning. So choose the ones that are in alignment with how you want to present your product. So, for instance, if you're selling a product that's not the easy one in the market or the cheap one in the market, like, you don't want the testimonials to focus on how easy and cheap it was, right? If you're the fully featured, customizable, more flexible option, you want testimonials that focus on flexibility and functionality. And so when you ask for a testimonial, you can prompt the person you're emailing and say, in particular, we're looking to highlight X, Y, and Z. And then they're more likely to write a testimonial that you want. And you want to use these on your landing page. You want to use them in the emails that you send out. And yeah, like social proof. Grab it early. You're going to use this when you're setting up your emails and stuff. All right. Speaking of emails, social media, these tips here, like they apply to email and also social media campaigns pretty equally. So one thing you want to keep in mind is who is your target audience for your emails and social media campaigns. In particular, are you focused? You want to make sure that you segment new customers or non-customers versus existing customers. And then again, this all kind of depends on the type of product that you sell and the type of site that you run. But some sites, like you very specifically don't want to email someone who just paid $300 for your product. They're like, hey, I just want to make you feel bad. You could, if you would have waited a day, you would have got it half off. Like you don't want to send that email. So if you could segment your email list, like to only existing customers or non-customers should get this email, that's a good thing to do. Even if you have the type of site where you're selling a product, like you have an upsell for existing customers, or you sell clothing or something else where they might have bought something, or like I said, like you have a site where you're selling gifts. They might want to buy one for a friend. They already bought a camcorder, but they're going to buy another camcorder for the friend. Camcorder's not even a thing. Everyone has a camera on their phone. Anyway, they bought your board game, but they're going to buy it again for their friend for Christmas. In any case, like you very usually want to segment at least like your new and existing customers separately and send them separate emails that really speak to that type of customer. So that's something to keep in mind. The other thing to keep in mind is to use like short copy with clear calls to action. This is good in general, but specifically over Black Friday, Cyber Monday, attention is at a deficit. People are getting a lot of email. They're getting a lot of communications. It really isn't the time where they're going to read like a long form email. You want to make sure that like, hey, highlight the product. What is the deal? When is it over? Like, what's the link to complete, right? Like, make sure that information, just like in the screenshot we have on this slide, is available and in front of folks. Yeah, like I have some time. I'll tell a story here. Like for a spring sale, not Black Friday, but for a spring sale, I once wrote like a really great email series, I thought, which was like 5 emails, 6 paragraphs per email. Each individual email was offering value to the customer outside our products, and kind of teased the next email. It went on, and then like closed on the last day. And it performed pretty well, like in the spring sale. Like I was like, this is great. Then fast forward a year, and I tell the team, I was like, let's just send the same emails as we did last year. It worked great. But when we looked into it, like the emails didn't work. They were kind of time sensitive. Some of the things we talked about were like features in the product, and it was just a button now. It wasn't like something you had to do. Like it didn't really work. So we would have had to rewrite them. And instead of writing 5 more long form emails that would take me 3 hours to compose, I was like, let's just write really quick. It's on sale. Here's the link to buy it. Go at it, and we wrote like a really streamed down email series. Anyway, like the point of the story is the performance was exactly the same time frame, same number of days for the sale, same discount, just different emails that I spent 3 hours each on and emails that the team spent like 3 minutes on. Then the 3-minute emails perform just as well. So make sure you're not kind of wasting your time, especially if you're starting out, and especially over Black Friday. So I talked about how people don't have a lot of attention on this weekend. I'm going to put out some advice that's only going to make that worse in the world, you should be emailing about your sale every single day over the weekend and twice at least on the last day. And you might be worried, Jason, if I email someone every single day and twice on the last day, they might unsubscribe from my mailing list. And you're right. They might unsubscribe from your mailing list. That's true. And I think you can't help it. And you just have to feel that that person who unsubscribed is unlikely to have been a customer in the future. If you have the kind of site where you have repeat customers, maybe you want to be a little more sensitive to this than if you only have one product that you sell. But in general, like the more email, like we find, like the more emails you send, like the more better that your sale does, right? So, kind of email them every day. And on the last day, you want to remind them if they didn't buy the couch on Sunday, they were waiting to the last minute, they get a reminder. Your competitors only emailed them once, but you emailed them twice. So you kind of like ping them in their brain twice. That's a good formula to, make sure that your sale performs. You can't kind of just like timidly send one email, one tweet, one Facebook post and hope people saw it. You have to kind of push through the noise and really kind of use quantity to your effect. And so if you're going to write these emails, and they don't have to be very complicated, hey, you can write them now and schedule them ahead of time so that you can relax when Black Friday week comes around. So use tools like Buffer on social media, and there's other tools like that to schedule your tweets, because they will be kind of simple and redundant, but you'll want to keep putting them out. And the same thing with your emails. Every email marketing service will allow you to schedule your campaign ahead of time. So do that. Here's some information about landing pages. And you could run a sale without a landing page. Depending on the software you're using, you might just lower the price on your whole site. You might just create a discount code and you put a banner at the top, or just hope people in the email like see the discount code in your that you offer. But I do think that like having a landing page that specifically for your Black Friday, Cyber Monday offer like really helps. You can put your whole offer the way that you want it and present it on one page. You have a URL that you can share with everyone ahead of time. Like you can build that page ahead of time and share that with sites and try to get onto those lists of like Black Friday roundups. And it gives you one place, that URL that you can share. So you can highlight your products and categories that are on sale. If you have a lot of products, but only some are on sale, that's going to be important. Include that social proof that you gathered early. And then a really important tip here is to make your call to action as clear as possible. And like, if your software supports it, like put a checkout right there on the page, to make it as easy as possible. You basically like within your software's, what you can do with your software, minimize the number of clicks that people need to actually check out and take part in your sale. So those are some important features of the landing page. The ebook goes into more of it. And then here's some tips for pushing live. So another one you want to think about now is to update and test your website ahead of time. And so what I mean by update, for instance, if you're running on software like WordPress, and you haven't updated your WordPress version in a while, or your plugins or your theme in a while, you don't want to do that, the week of Thanksgiving in November. You want to do that in October. Usually if you're on a good schedule, you can upgrade WordPress and there's minimal issues. It just keeps working. If you have a pretty complicated site, or you just haven't updated in a while, or you're unlucky, you might update and there's like a conflict that you need to resolve. And you want to do that in October, not November. So update your WordPress sites and your other software if you have updates right now. Make sure your website is up to date ahead of time. And then another tip here is after you push things live, like the week of the sale, you should be your first customer. Test your checkout from start to finish like a real customer would. Open the email that gets sent, click on the link to make sure the link works. When you get to your site, use a real credit card to check out on your site. You can refund yourself later. Sometimes things get missed between like the sandbox site and the live site, or between draft and publish. So make sure your site really works. Use a credit card. You're about to put some effort in. A lot of people might potentially come to your website. You don't want them to come and have things not work. And then another tip is what's called like a code freeze during the sale. So if you've updated your WordPress site, for instance, in October, when it comes time where you've launched a sale right before Black Friday, you don't want to be making updates to your website at that time. So unless it's a critical security update or something else that you really need, You can leave that plugin update, that WordPress update, go for a few days, and wait until after your sale to push the button. And if you follow these tips, I think you'll probably be able to relax more over, the holiday week. In the US, we have Thanksgiving. And spend some more time with family, eat some leftovers. This is, I put this in here like bragging about how hot business is. And this is kind of like a vanity thing, but I remember before we ran Black Friday, I say we, like I'll speak for myself. Before I ran Black Friday sales, I would be home, and there's a lot of people my friends from high school coming home for the week of Thanksgiving. And, they're going to ask you how business is, but I have like a mobile report on my phone, and sales are really slow. Like for the first time in a few months, we actually have like 0 sales on a day, because everyone is taking part of the holidays. And I try to feel good about it. I'm like, hey, that's good. Our customers deserve to take off and celebrate the holidays too. But in reality, like it just kind of, it doesn't feel good to have like a goose egg on the revenue chart. Whereas after running a sale, that same situation, like not only is business doing well, it's like the best day of the year is like that Friday and that Monday. And that's when I'm hanging out with friends and they're asking me how business is doing. I'm like, business is great, So it's like, that's a personal story. It's a little vain, but that's the kind of like mentality shift that can happen if you're running the sale. And if you plan things in advance, it's running smooth and you kind of don't have to work. That's where I really want you to be. So follow these steps. And then also, as I said earlier, go to sitewidesales.com/ebook, and that will forward you to a form to submit your email to get this ebook emailed to you, which goes into all of the stuff I've been talking about in depth with week by week kind of steps of what you can do. And then I'm ready for questions. I'm going to check out for your questions, and please stay tuned. I'm going to go a little bit, answer questions, and then I'm going to share that special offer for site-wide sales. I'll tell you a little bit about site-wide sales and the special offer if you're interested in that. And let me see the questions here. Hello. Oh no, is there a bad echo? Oh, okay. It seems like that fixed. People ask about the sales calculator. Maybe we have on the sitewidesales.com website, if you scroll down a bit, there's like a calculator where if you put your existing sales and then you kind of make an estimate, like I said, in that 25 to 75% range, it'll estimate how much money you could make on Black Friday, which is a good, way to figure out how, figure out if it's worth it for you to run a Black Friday. Okay, here's another question here. This is Relax and Learn Guitar. I have a monthly annual membership. If my Black Friday offer is getting people in at less than the current members have, I fear that current members will get mad. This is a concern I've had as well. And there's a couple things I can say about this. One is I think it's a bigger issue than you might think. When we run sales, we will get like a few people saying like, hey, can I get the sale price? Or I missed the sale. Can I get the sale price? Or I bought last month. Can I get the sale price? And most of the time, like we just give them a refund, the sale price. Like we give them a refund or we give them the sale price. And we don't feel bad about that because it's usually a handful of people. If we have 100 extra sales over Black Friday weekend, we'll have like 2 or 3 people ask. Like it's kind of less people than you might think are going to notice and really ask you. So that's one thing to maybe make you feel a little better. The other thing is, if you can, like I said, segment your email list so you're not sending existing customers information about your sale. If you're using a tool like Site-Wide Sales, pitching my product, I think some other ones might do it. It has functionality for Paid Memberships Pro, Easy Digital Downloads, and WooCommerce to hide the offer, the banner, from existing customers. So if they're logged in as an existing customer, they're not going to see your offer. And that's really important, actually. And I'm glad you brought that up because it's kind of a killer feature for site-wide sales that if you have a site that's been running for a while, you will have sales funnels and agreements. Like I did a podcast, 3 years ago, and there's a link shared in the podcast, and people watch that podcast, visit the link, and then buy our product for full price. And I don't want people who came in through that funnel to see my sale necessarily. Like it was working. I get a sale every day from that. Like don't mess it up. And so you don't want to give people a discount if you don't have to. And site-wide sales will do that. It'll only show you can be configured to only give the discount to people who've seen your landing page. So if they're coming, the sale landing page. So if they're coming in through another landing page, they're not going to get the same sale. So I say it's possibly not as big of an issue as you think it is. So maybe just try it and see how it goes. And then two, like if you use the right software or tools, you can minimize that as much as possible by hiding that information. So thank you, Relax and Learn Guitar, for the question there. And some other folks had that issue. Is there a way to prolong the current subscription with the discounted price? That's okay. That's kind of an interesting question. Okay, that's kind of a follow-up question. Is there a way to prolong someone's existing subscription at the discounted price? Maybe they're paying $30 per month. It's $20 per month now is on sale. We did this in a sale where we sent the offer to existing customers specifically saying like, hey, you could take part in this sale and lock in at this price. And you don't want to just give people money for no reason necessarily, but we were bundling it. We were kind of upselling something. So it depends on your software. If it's only a month, like maybe, people will check out and they'll lock into the price. That's kind of good. But maybe you want to hide that offer from them. If you are upselling, like they're paying $30 a month, and usually the next level tier is $100 a month, but they could lock in at $50 a month. That's something that you might want to like send, an email, send an offer to your existing customers like that. And then if it's monthly, they'll get an extra, they'll pay and their date might be different. There are ways in like Paid Memberships Pro to make sure that when an existing customer checks out, their membership is prorated. So you can look into that, like the proration for your tools. Best way. Okay. So here's a question that Kim's pulling in from YouTube. Some people are considering launching a product on Black Friday. What are your recommendations for this? My personal recommendation is to not try to do that. Like I said, it's a noisy time. Like if you're launching a product when everyone else is kind of putting their products on sale, and you're sending an email when everyone else is, sending emails, like it's basically going to get drowned out. Like this is a personal answer. Like I feel like Black Friday is more valuable for the existing business that already has some established revenue, and they can make some more revenue. They can upsell their customers. They can create repeat customers. I think that's the best value, specifically this Black Friday weekend. But that said, like seek out some information, because I have heard some stories of people having successful launches on Black Friday. And maybe it depends on the type of product. I think giving like an extreme deal, like a lifetime deal, potentially limited lifetime deal, or, you might be able to take advantage and get in front of people. Possibly if you have like a large mailing list of kind of potential customers, like you've had a community for a while, but you just haven't sold anything, and this is the first time you're going to sell something, you might be able to kind of like wow them with like a really good offer. But the way that I launch products and that I think about it, it kind of is like more of a conversation that you don't want to have among the noise of Black Friday. So, but I've had some really smart people say like, no, Jason, you got it wrong. Here's what you do. But I just personally don't have the tips then to make it successful. So yeah. Membership. What's the best way to take advantage of Black Friday as a membership-based business? Thank you, The Core Training Inc. I maybe need a more specific question here. But yeah, I mean, besides, here's one thing, the way I think about it. And we're working on like an infographic, but I'll try to explain it in words. We kind of have a membership-based business, like our Paid Memberships Pro business. And our main product is $300. And some people can't afford the $300, or some people just like shopping and buying things on sale. And basically every day, say we have like 5 customers, for every 5 we have, there's one that doesn't, that's too much money, or I only buy things on sale. And so over the course of a month, that's like 30 people who almost bought but didn't. And over the course of a quarter, that's like 90 people who almost bought but didn't. And I kind of imagine them like lining up at the door. Like they want your membership, but they just don't have the money, or they just aren't willing to buy something that's not on sale. And I'm saying that it almost sounds facetiously, but just they might literally like have that mindset. But I think more likely they're almost there, and like a little bit, like if it was on sale, that would push them over the edge, right? So those people line up at the door for your membership, and then when you run a sale, you let them in the door. You're basically like, hey, today everybody, it's only $200, come on in, and those 90 people come in the door. And so if you think of it that way, if that kind of maps maybe to how you're running your membership business, what I would suggest is like once a quarter running a sale like that and letting those people in the door. And then specifically when you're running a sale, you maybe want to run a sale like for a shorter time frame. You don't want to run it for a whole week. You're going to accidentally discount people who would have signed up anyway. But like, 4 days, less than a week or so, you're going to let enough time to let people in, experiment with things. That's the thing too. If you go on a quarterly sales, like Black Friday, spring, summer, maybe like another one squeezed in there, you're going to spread out like where the bumps are in your sales chart. So we like to run sales in months where there's like a little bit less activity. Like our summer sale is like June, July, or August, and we kind of rotate so that the sales are more evenly distributed. And that's kind of another thing that like a membership business kind of has to worry about. But if you're running like 4 sales a year, you can experiment and see what's the length of time. How much money do I really have to discount? Maybe it's 25% discount is just as good, or 20% discount, like kind of experiment and see how it goes. So those are some tips. We have tips like that on the site-wide sales site too, and on the Paid Memberships Pro blog often. So hopefully that helps you. Relax and learn guitar when you're not thinking about the email list, social media. Yeah. So I'll put this comment up there that when I was going through like the email and social media tips, some of them only apply, like segment your list. You can't really segment tweets right now and stuff like that. So there is a risk that people are going to be exposed to your sale. And again, I would, just say like, you should try to give it a shot, because you might be giving up almost a half a month's extra, revenue or so. And you might be surprised that, it's not as bad as you think it is, that people aren't that upset. They're kind of natural. That's the other thing I'll say is people kind of expect you to run a Black Friday sale. Like if you haven't ever run big sales before because you're worried about that, like Black Friday is the one time of the year where you kind of have cover. You were like, Jason Coleman told me to run a sale. I had to. Not like that, but you know what I mean? Like they're not going to be surprised that you ran a Black Friday sale. They're going to be like, there'll be a little bit less heat when they reach out to you. They'll be like, oh yeah, of course you ran a Black Friday sale. I should have thought of that. Is it okay if I get the discount? And you might be giving up money, but like think of it as an experiment, and just see how it goes this one time. And if it is, like you feel like that's the thing too, a site-wide sales pitch. And I'm going to transition now from the questions. Feel free. I don't see any, but maybe I'm missing some, into the site-wide sales pitch. One of the good things about site-wide sales is that it has reporting built in. So it keeps track of your sale revenue and your other revenue and your renewals during the period, so that when you run the sale, you can really identify like, hey, I ran a sale for 7 days and this is how much money was caught in my sale. And it's very clear to you. You could do the math to figure out if the sale was, profitable or not. Because sometimes it's not. If you just lower your price, people check out, and you're kind of like, I don't know if they would have bought otherwise. Like maybe all these people would have bought at the full price. So stay tuned. I'm gonna have a special offer real quick. Again, like that plugin is called Site-Wide Sales. It works for WordPress, specifically WooCommerce, Easy Digital Downloads, and Paid Memberships Pro. It's basically one page of settings. Here's the first 2. It's about 5 steps. You set the end date and the sale type, the other settings. And then it's all in one, a banner to show up across your site that you can hide from existing customers, saying what the sale is. Excuse me. It has built-in landing pages and landing page templates that you can use. And it has functionality to kind of show different content before, during, and after the sale. Our team has put together like lots of demos and information to help you get set up on those landing pages, some best practices. And then it also has built in like reporting. So it's keeping track of your conversion rate between how many people saw your banner, how many visited the landing page, how many of those converted. in this, screenshot I have from a demo site, $19,000 in sales. But then the breakdown below, like there was 19,000 from the sales, there was $3,000 in other revenue coming in from those existing sales funnels that you don't want to mess with when you're running a sale. $26,000 in renewals that you can subtract out of your reporting, so that your total revenue is $49,000. And you're like, wow, I made $49,000 in a sale. You're like, no, you made $20,000 in a sale, and you still have a little bit of work to do to figure out what were your sales would have been, for a typical week to compare. But we put the numbers in front of you so you can do that math and figure it out and have more clarity about running your sale. So that's site-wide sales. There's plenty of more information linked to from our website, from our YouTube channel. And this is the offer. We never do this. This is not a good idea. Don't do this. Don't offer lifetime licenses for things. But right now we're offering a lifetime license for site-wide sales. So if you go to sitewidesales.com/lifetime, you will have the discount code applied to pay one-time $49 and have access to our updates and support for life. And we typically actually have like a free trial, and then $49 a year. Next year, the price is going up to $99 a year. You'll lock in for one-time $49. And the lifetime code, you do have to pay up front, so you don't get the trial. If you use the trial and wait, that lifetime code may not be available to you. But you should know that we also have a 60-day money back, no questions asked, full price guarantee. So $49 is basically, in 60 days, is basically enough time to set up your sale, get it running on your site, actually run it through Black Friday. And if you made money, that's great. You're a customer for life. You're going to use this and queue it up 4 times a year. And I'm going to be really happy for you. If it didn't work out for you for some reason, ask for a refund and we will give it to you. So we want the first 100 customers only. The people watching this video live got first dibs. So check that sale or that link for our lifetime sale. If not, you'll still have access for $49 throughout the rest of the year before we increase the price. And if you're watching this video in like 2025, I'm sorry, it's 13 Bitcoin. So you're going to have to check for the current offer. This is limited time only right now. And again, I just wanted to one last time mention the ebook, sitewidesales.com/ebook. More information, the same that's in this video, more detail, step-by-step, 6 weeks, what you got to do. Other information if you want to stay connected. We'll link to the presentation and all the stuff from the description on YouTube. Thanks everyone for your time. I really appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to hearing all the stories from you folks running profitable and stress-free Black Friday sales this year. I want to hear them. Send them back to me. And finally, smash that like button, hit subscribe if you like this and you want more content like this from Stranger Studios. Thanks so much. Have good days, everyone.